Welcome back. Welcome back to Kovacs Report. It's time for a new number one, and boy oh boy is it a big one. It's Captain America by Chip Zdarsky and Valerio Schiti. Now this, I was worried, boys, but I shouldn't have worried. Old Chip Zdarsky has got Cap in good hands. There's some retconning, some big retconning. We're going to go through that today. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to go through this page by page, give you my thoughts. So please read the book if you don't want it spoiled. And before any of that happens, just go hit subscribe. It helps the channel grow, and if you like the video, give it a like. Now, let's dive in. Now, I don't think Cap's been treated very well by previous creative teams for a little while now, so I was very dubious about this new Cap number one, but boy, oh boy, was I surprised. So let's get to this retconning. As you all know, Cap was frozen in ice near the end of World War II, and then he was defrozen, or what was it, defrosted rather, that would probably be the best term, right, by the Avengers in the 60s. Now, that's not what happens now, boys. No. Cap has been found and he's been defrosted around 9/11. That's right. So it's setting it very, very much in our sort of current psyche and current timeline, which I think is a brilliant move. Absolutely brilliant move. Like I say, this will make him much more relatable to modern audiences, get new people reading Cap. I think it's great. I honestly do. Now, we see 9/11 happen through the eyes of this young chap here, this little redhead called David Coulton. And for him, this is a profound, life-changing moment. He realizes that there are bad people out there, okay? So you need good men. You need good men to fight them. So he decides that he wants to be one of those good men. He wants to join the fight, and he's going to join the military. Now, his brother, Brian, I think it is, also was a soldier who was killed in Kuwait. So he's no stranger to death. But this moment, watching these two towers come down, much like many Americans and people the world over, was a profound turning point for everybody. And it is emotional. This first page really sets the tone for this book. Cap is back, guys. That's just page one. So, like I say, fresh from the ice, it's a week later. So Cap is sort of reintegrating into society. 1 minute he's gone from fighting Hitler, punching out Nazis. Next minute there's telephones that you in your pocket, and there's like superheroes everywhere, and it's just a strange new world. Okay, a very strange new world. And he's having a cup of coffee, a cup of Joe, at some local diner somewhere in New York, and he's listening to all the people talk. And he overhears the police band radio on this police officer that there's shots been fired. And just him leaning over his shoulder, looking back, page two. If page one didn't have me hooked, page two did. It's just, I am in. It's got me. This has got me. This is one of those moments where you're like this is Steve Rogers that you love. You know you're about to get the Cap that you're used to. And it's superb. Now, of course, Cap's ancient newsreel, right? So people aren't used to him being about. They don't know really who he is. They're still learning. They know as much as everyone else does from the history books and the museum. And he turns up to this police officer and he says, "What's going on?" And she tells him that the shots have been fired, and this crazy man, he's sped off on a motorbike and he's off to the UN building. So Cap follows him. He borrows a bike, and he notices that this guy can shoot while he's riding, so he's obviously trained, and it makes a deduction that he must be military, right? But he notices something else. By the way, the action scenes are really, really good. Anyway, what he notices is the guy's got a bomb, right? And he thinks, oh, okay, this is upping this like tenfold. Need to do something quick. So sure enough, he gets to the UN building. The police try and stop the bomber, but the bomber's got a dead man switch. Now Cap goes in, and he's like, right, diplomacy. Right, he's like, state your name and rank, soldier. He's going to talk to him like the man he is, right? He's going to not just go in blindly and risk death and take a life, because he starts to realize that people are different now. They've been affected. They've been through a lot. They've seen people die, not only on the battlefield, but literally the place where they work, outside the cafe that they drink their coffee in the morning. So he's there, and he manages to talk the guy down. And another beautiful hero arrives in that absolutely classic suit that I love. I love the pointy mask on Iron Man. He turns up, and Iron Man uses his tech to defuse the bomb just in time. It's brilliant. I mean, every page so far is great. Anyway, we do learn that Cap's been invited to the Avengers, but like I said earlier, he's in this new world. He doesn't know what's going on. He's learning the lay of the land, and the only thing that he can trust really is what he could trust beforehand. All his friends are gone. Anyone that he loved is dead. The only thing that he has is the army, the military. So he just says, you know what? No, I'm not going to join your Avengers. I'm going to stay in the army. That's where I belong right now. And you know, Tony's like, that's cool. You know, there's a place for you when you're ready. Now we jump back to David Coulton, the little redhead kid who's trying to change the world. Now he's basically, you know, I think what they call it, he's graded F. Is that what it is? He's sort of given that designation if you're unfit for duty. He's got asthma and all sorts of things, so he's not qualifying to enlist in the army. But of course, there's someone watching, much like Steve Rogers was back then. That, you know, dweeby little kid that couldn't lift up his own head. Somebody's watching and thought, this kid might have some kind of potential. So he does get into the army. We learn in a few pages, but in the middle of that, Steve's abilities are being tested. They realize that this is the real Steve Rogers. This is the super soldier serum at work. And, you know, Cap's back. I'm going to keep saying it. Cap is back in more ways than one. Now, of course, General Thaddeus Ross likes to poke his nose into everything. And he talks to Steve and says, you know, what are your motivations? And he explains to him that, you know, he's a soldier. He's an Iron Man. He's here to do the good work. And old Ross says, that's good because I've got a mission for you. So when you're ready to come back, okay, once you've passed all the tests, I guess they've got to do loads of tests, right? Make sure that he's stable enough to rejoin. I've got a mission for you. We jump back to David Coulton, and we find out that, you know, he's not having a good time in basic training at all. He is the butt of all the jokes, and he's being bullied by the sort of bigger, taller, stronger other guys there. And he's got something they don't have, and that's balls. This guy's got guts. You knock him down, he's getting up. It don't matter how big you are, how hard you hit. He ain't going to give up. He's going to get up and get knocked down, get up and get knocked down. But you know what? Some people don't see that as a positive. But someone's watching. Someone's always watching, right? There's this nice nod here to Fantastic Four 1 where they're battling, you know, the giant mole man monster. And Cap turns up at the end with the mole man and says, listen, I need to speak to you, Reed. You know, I'd like to have a conversation with Mr. Fantastic. He wants to talk about Victor Von Doom, which is the current threat at the time. You know, there's been a coup in Latveria. And Doom has assumed control, and he's a megalomaniac. And you know, there's some nefarious plot going on. And Cap's going to be sent in to put that to an end. And he wants to get an idea of who the man is, who is Doom. He wants to know who he's fighting because things have changed, right? Like I say, it's a different world. But Reed's like, well, I'll help you out. But Cap's like, no, this has to be like a purely military operation, secret op. You know, I just want your advice. Anyway, there's this lovely moment here, right, which you don't get often in comics, is good old Reed. He's saying, look, you know, when I was growing up, my father absolutely idolized you, and so did I. You know, and I've had this little action figure of you since I was a child. You're my hero, and I can't believe I'm here looking at a living legend, right? And it's really, really nice. You can see this friendship really blossoming, little bromance, and I love it. I really, really, really love it. It also sort of gives you a little in-depth look at Steve's mind right now. He's like, people are calling him the living legend. There's a museum in his name. You know, there's so much expectation for Captain America, Steve Rogers, to be this living legend. And can he live up to it? You know, can he operate as well as people expect in this new world? And it's good. It's good. He's not just this big gung-ho, like, go in, I'm going to kick ass, I'm the super soldier thing. He's like, you know, he has his doubts, which humanizes him a little. And I really like that. Now, back to old Coulton here. It's not enough that his, I say buddies, his squaddies aren't kicking the shit out of him every day, all right? The trainer, the head guy, comes in as well, pulls him outside in the rain and starts knocking the hell out of him. He basically wants him to leave. He wants him to quit, all right? He wants him to get the hell out of this man's army. And this kid's like, I ain't going anywhere. I will never leave. It don't matter what you do to me, I'm staying. And I love that. This is, of course, is a parallel to Steve Rogers' journey as that dweeby kid that wouldn't give up until someone saw something in him and gave him the super serum. Anyway, foreboding, overshadowing. You've guessed what's going to happen, right? So have I, and it is good. Anyway, like I say, Cap is going through this sort of moment where he's learning about the new world and questioning himself and his place in it. And it's done so very, very well. And of course, we get the moment we were waiting for where old Coulton here gets his chance. Now, this sort of slick back silver guy, haired guy here, basically is going to offer Coulton an offer. And that was really bad the way I said that. I just don't know how else to put it. He's giving him a chance to become more than he is. And of course, this kid is going to accept. Now we jump to right now. We've got a mission being briefed to old Cap here in this really cool sort of stealth suit. I don't know what to call it. It just looks cool. I love the character designs in this book and the costuming. It's really, really well done. And he goes on about this mission that they've got to go on. They're going to be working with the Latvian resistance. They've got to get into Doomstat and do what they got to do, you know, get rid of Doom, all that kind of jazz. And he's introduced to his new team. He's got this guy, Terry Mendoza, who they call him Chill. And there's this woman here called Julie Slate. And she's a marksman for SEAL Team X, the Howling Commandos. That's right. This is the modern version of the Howling Commandos. And Cap says, you know, that's a big name to live up to. And she's badass. She's like, yeah, whatever. You know, I'm a Marine. Right. So she's going to be a bit of a girl boss, but in a good way. And we like that. Anyway. He says, right, so I guess this is the team. It's the three of us. But no. There's a voice from behind. And we see that red hair, except this guy's beefed up, a little bit older, and he's got his own shield. He's got his own Captain America shield. It's got to be our friend Colton, right? So it looks like Cap's got a new partner, because you know what happened to Bucky, right? We've got a new partner, and it's going to be this kid. So there's two Caps, essentially, from what I'm looking at. And it's interesting. I want to know what happens. Does this Cap stay good? Does he go bad? Is this sort of like this modern version of Bucky until maybe Bucky makes another appearance? Again, this is set after 9/11. If I remember my timing, I don't think Winter Soldier was revealed around about that time. I don't know. But this is good. Every single page is not wasted. Every panel, all the characters are fully well-rounded. I cannot wait to see what happens. I think Chip's done a great job of this, bringing Cap back to the fans, and this is what we've been waiting for a long time. And like I say, Valerio's art fits this book perfectly. It's absolutely beautiful. It's 100% recommend. I love it. So those are my thoughts. Do let me know yours, and hopefully I will see you in the next review.